The Mobile County Public School System presents Homeroom with Nancy Pierce.
Hello and welcome to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System. This is a great time of the year. We are kicking off our United Way campaign. And to tell us all about it and what United Way is about, just in case you don't know, is Tina Blackman with United Way. Good to have you here. I guess I see you about once a year, maybe twice.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's
course.
a great pleasure to be here. We're so proud of the Mobile County Public School System standing behind United Way and our 49 community partners. We couldn't do it without the community, and y'all are an integral part as large of an employer as you are.
Well, we enjoy doing it. We know how important it is. And before we get into our actual campaign, let's talk about United Way. What is it? Why did it start? What's the whole deal about the United Way?
United Way is here to try to look at the needs in the community and figure out partners in the community that can assess those needs and solve problems. And as you know, we have 49 community partners. They face over in 4 building blocks. We figure education, health, financial stability, and essentials.
Oh, those are good, 4 good ones.
Well, if those 4 things are sound in your life, then you have a great life to start building off of. And if it's support for each person in our community, if those 4 things are solved, then as a whole, we have a wonderful community. So we kind of looked and said, if those 4 things, if we can start fulfilling needs in those areas, then we create a great community for everyone to live in.
Which is wonderful for all of us together. So tell me about some of the agencies. What do we look for? What do you look for as far as in education and health, basic necessities? What kind of things do you offer?
Well, we have a wide variety of services. We focus with things like education. We've partnered with Mobile Area Education Foundation to focus on their 80 by 20 program. We know that's an essential need in our community. Without graduation, then we don't have job-ready, community-minded individuals. And then we don't have new businesses coming to town.
Right, they want graduates that can, if they decide not to go to college, that can go and work for them. 80 by 20, in case any of our audience members don't know, that is 80% graduation rate by the year 2020.
Correct. So, you know, but when we looked at that, we said, you know, that's great, that's one of our focus, but it's not gonna do us any good if the basic needs aren't met. So that's where essentials came in. And one of the programs that probably affects the Mobile County Public School System the most is the Bay Area Food Bank's backpack program.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't know, it's where we partner with the school system, where teachers can identify students that may be in need of food at night and over the weekends, where we have prepackaged meals that they can slip into a student's backpack so that they have food for the weekend. Because, you know, there's nothing worse than coming to school and getting ready to start your day and wondering, when's breakfast, when's lunch?
Right.
And I know that's a great segment into what y'all are about to announce is the November 1st free breakfast for all the students, which is wonderful.
But over the weekend, there are students that probably don't have much food, if any, at home.
Correct.
And that's just unbelievable to me that you could have that situation. And how can anyone function that way? And especially function well?
So that's where we came through, and then we looked at things like essential services also goes into shelters and food. I know there's about 5,000 homeless students in the Mobile County Public School System. So we wanted to make sure that there's facilities out there where they can have a good night's sleep. The Women's and Children's Shelter, the Sybil Smith Center. We're working with the Homeless Coalition and the Housing First, trying to make sure that they're there. But also we need to make sure that people's health is attended to, because that can be an issue too. We have partners such as Victory Health Partners who serve what we consider the working poor, maybe those that are not eligible for insurance through their workplace or can't afford it. And we have, you know, everybody says, who is that? Are they in our community? It's people you deal with every day.
And it could be me or you at any time.
At any time, it could be any of us. One life's changing moment, it could be there. But it's people that, your bartenders, your waitresses, your hostesses, people of that nature, your barbers, your hairdressers, most of those are independent and they don't have access.
Have the insurance.
So we have a facility there that will kind of help. And then as anything, financial stability. If you're worried about your financial stability and where you're headed, then your health is probably going to have issues. You have problems with essentials, and education is one of your least thought of at that point. So we have people like consumer credit counseling through Lifelines that'll help you with that. And then they also kind of go back and say, you know, if you're in a financially if you're in an issue where financial stability is a problem, you're probably going to have other issues like family counseling, divorce, and bankruptcy consideration, things of that. So they kind of partner with all of that to say, let's encompass and find out what we're doing. And I think the greatest benefit of United Way partners is that when you're there, they address every need. They don't stop at what their service is.
Right.
If you come in and you say, you know, I need medicine. I can't afford my medicine. Well, yes, there's Ozanam Charitable Pharmacy, there's Victory Health Partners, they'll help that. But they come back and say, okay, how did you get here? And what can we do to help you find something to stop the cycle and get you back on your feet?
And that's what it is, it's a cycle. And it has to be broken. And how many times do you see ads on television a lot, and you hear people say, what do I do? Do I go buy my medicine, or do I go buy food? Or do I pay my rent?
That is a prime concern. You'll hear every day, especially with the elderly, when they are on limited income,
Right.
you hear that all the time. Well, I only have $600 a month. What do I do? My power bill was $3, my this was that. And then they say, so I'm taking my blood pressure medicine every third day. Well, when you take your blood pressure medicine every third day, you know, you end up in the hospital,
Sure.
which is a cost to the community. So what we have determined is, let's go back. You know, if it's something that their power bill is that high, does that mean that we need to call Mobile Community Action and help with weatherization? Does that mean they need emergency food and shelter to kind of be that one-time stopgap to get their power bill paid and get them back on their feet? Do they need to have Ozanam Charitable Pharmacy come in and help with their prescription drugs? What do they need? That's where we look at it as a whole. And you know, many people say, well, that's great, but how do we get to that? Well, that's the easy thing. 211. Just like, you know, just everybody knows how to dial 911.
Exactly.
We do it every day. We teach our children from elementary school forward. But 211, you dial it just like 911.
And it is an emergency. It certainly
right.
could be an emergency.
It could be. And they'll sit there. They have a confidential person that'll keep it 24/7. You can talk to them about what your needs are. You don't have to tell them your name. The only thing they ask is your zip code.
Okay.
And the reason that they'll ask your zip code is it's not going to do me any good if you're in Saraland and you need a food pantry,
Right.
and I tell you, well, that's great, but the Bay Area Food Bank's in Theodore. Because if you don't have money for food, you definitely don't have money probably for transportation and gas and to pay for someone. So what we do is we say, okay, give us your zip code, talk to you about what your issues are, try to get in depth, just like we said, what started the cycle, and then they'll help collaborate all the services with you to make sure that you're getting what you need in our community.
That is amazing. We need to take a quick break, but we have so much more to talk about, so don't you go anywhere.
Thank you.
And don't you go anywhere. More on United Way coming up.
I'm Ashley Rich, Mobile County District Attorney. The failure to obey school bus safety laws will cost you. It can cost you up to a $3,000 fine and the loss of your driving privileges.
But more than that, it could cost the life of a child. That's why the Mobile County Public School System is urging you to stop and obey all bus traffic laws. Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Director of Transportation for the Mobile County Public School System. We're asking you to obey all bus safety laws. It could save a life. Remember, stop ahead when you see red. Our future depends on it.
I saw Mr. Tillman's class. Just that quick little 5 minutes I had with him made me think that I really wanted to do small engines. I just love tinkering with them. Just a gearhead. Graduating from the Career Tech Center has allowed me to better myself, make more money, be more informed about the trade that I'm going to be in. I just felt like doing a trade is just better than working in an office or something. I have to be outside working with my hand or something.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
Together now, we can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We'll roll it out, cause we know how to skate. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat. We'll swap it out, we eat healthy stuff. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Yeah, well come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll ball it up, cause we know how to hoop. We'll mess around, cause we know how to play. We'll drop it down, cause we know how to dance. We'll veg it up, veggie night and day. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. All in together now, we can make it better
we can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy.
For me, it started back in 1942 when my family moved to Mobile, and I began my high school career at Murphy High School. Today, it's so important to be able to ingrain in yourself what are you going to do in future life, and you need to be prepared. And so subsequently, everything at Murphy was very important in my life. And so it was instrumental in preparing me for future life and future profession that I wanted to be in.
Welcome back to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, and joining us today is Tina Blackman from the United Way of Southwest Alabama. Now, good to have you again.
Thank you.
Southwest Alabama, how many counties do you cover?
We cover Mobile, Clark, and Washington County.
And how many families or people do you think you cover?
We serve about 600,000 families and people in our community each year.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Is it getting bigger? Is it growing, or is it staying the same, or maybe decreasing?
Probably in the past few years it's remained the same, but we've known it's grown definitely in the past probably 5 to 10 years because we've had so much economic downturn.
Yeah.
Everybody has, people who never thought they would need a United Way service have been standing there and said, and they'll tell you now, I'm back and I'm employed, but I never thought I would need the services you provided.
Sure.
Thank you.
And that's what we had just talked about, is any day it could become any of us. We could be in that situation where you don't take your blood pressure medicine every day because you can't afford it, and your food. So it could be any of us. And that's what I hope that people think about when there's a campaign that, okay, it doesn't affect me now, but it could at any time. It could my family, it could my neighbors. And if I can help out now, then let me help.
There.
So what is the campaign?
This year, for our community, we're looking to raise $4.8 million. That is a 1% increase over what we raised last year because we feel like that's a realistic increase to our community. Yes, the need is greater than that, but we know that everyone has so many needs and so many personal things that 1%, that's $1 on every $100. And like I said, you know, that's 2 less canned Cokes a year if you find them at 50 cents a piece, which is pretty hard now. But you know, that makes a big difference in our community. $1 is a huge amount. The Bay Area Food Bank, for example, you pay what, $3 a box of cereal in the morning, 16 ounces. Well, imagine if you're at St. Mary's Home and you had 60 children to feed in the morning.
Right.
Well, at $3 a box.
And that's cheap.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of it's $5.
I'm always, most of us are those extreme couponers and those shoppers. So, $3 a box, 60 kids, that's a large sum of money every morning for breakfast. But they partner with the Bay Area Food Bank. And so the Bay Area Food Bank at 14 cents a pound can provide cereal for them. So where you think $3 a box is a large amount, $3 that you give to United Way and to the Bay Area Food Bank and St. Mary's Home, that's 21 boxes of cereal for those 60 kids. And that's what I said. I wished I could stretch my food bill that way.
I know.
But
well, and you said so. Your goal is 1% higher.
Yes.
And honestly, that doesn't sound that much to me because everything's gone up. So you have to raise that limit or that goal. Gasoline is coming back down, but we never know when it's going to go back up. And just the price of cereal, the price of, I think, you consider the price of ground beef 20 years ago, even 5 years ago compared to now. And just everything has gone up. So you have to have that increase too.
The cost of the products have gone up, but the salaries have not. And so people are having to do more with less.
Sure.
And that's where we're here to fill in those gaps.
So what about, with the school system, how do you work with the school system as far as the campaign?
Well, we're very fortunate. We have Martha Peak, and y'all support us, and we get out there with each of the schools. We try to get in front of the schools because we don't only want to ask, of course, fundraising is our priority, but education is something else.
Sure.
We want to make sure that the teachers and the students and everyone knows that we're out there, and if there's a service that maybe they need that they're unaware of, that it's there for them. So that's what we've been very fortunate. We hope this year that we'll increase the schools goal. I know last year y'all raised about $74,000, and I think this year y'all's goals are just over that, about $76,000.
What about the rest of the Mobile County the employees?
The Mobile County employees as a whole, they're out there. They're great. We have most of your large companies are great supporters. We're rallying right now. You know, we couldn't ask for a better group of people in our community as far as volunteers and donors. We have really seen everyone step up and, you know, reach in for that 1%. When you think about that $1, everybody's like, that's realistic. And if you had $1 from extra 600,000 people, that makes a big impact as a whole. But it's a small impact to you.
To you. When does the campaign start? Have you kicked it off?
We kicked off August 26th.
Oh my.
Yes, we've been full force for several months, and we hope to wrap it up around December 1st.
Okay.
But, you know, as we say, that's just our shooting point.
Right.
So we're always there. But, you know, we feel like, you know, as you start into Christmas time, you really start to think about the needs in the community.
Right.
And how blessed you know, most of us are personally.
What if someone from the community wants to donate to United Way? What do they need to do?
It's real simple. They can contact us, go on our webpage, which is uwswa.org. They can donate. If they have a company that they'd love to have a rally run, please contact us. Our number, and the main number is 433-3624. And we love to come in and talk to employees, let them know what's out there, because we hear a lot of times, oh, my employees are, you know, just, they're doing the best they can. Yes, they are. And yes, they may not be able to give, but like we said, there may be a service that they need. And that you don't know. People have very different opinions on giving. And a lot of times, as we've seen, if they've been in this economic downturn and unfortunately have been unemployed but are reemployed and they've used our services, they're very thankful.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're very thankful.
I'm sure. So that's the way you can do it. A lot of companies have their own campaigns.
They do.
So you can donate through your company or call the United Way. And the website's so easy if you don't remember if it's .org.com because they all kind of mix together. Just Google United Way, Southwest Alabama.
Exactly. And
so
we're
that
out
makes
there.
it easy. That makes it really easy. So you hope to wrap it up by December 1st. You hope to make your goal of, tell me the goal again.
$4.8 million.
4.8, and last year it was about 4.7.
Last year we raised 4.755, which was the first time we'd had an increase in about 9 years.
Wow.
Yes. And it was our largest increase in 14 years. We increased the campaign by 4.1%.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Which was outstanding for the community and for everyone. And we are so thankful to all the donors who stepped up and helped us reach that goal.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I just hope I know you're going to reach the goal. I know you're going to reach the goal. I know we don't have too much time before we have to take a break, but you have a really exciting program for our schools. And you know, I have found that our schools, that our students are very giving with so many different programs. Whether it be gently used clothes, they'll share those. Whether it be the food bank, we just had the food bank drive, and they do so well. They just really want to help. And maybe it's because they've been in the situation before where they didn't have the food, or maybe they need uniforms. And we're going to talk about that, the youth program, as soon as we get back. It's time to take a break. So I'll be back with that in just a minute. And you stay with us.
I'm Ashley Rich, Mobile County District Attorney. The failure to obey school bus safety laws will cost you. It can cost you up to a $3,000 fine and the loss of your driving privileges.
But more than that, it could cost the life of a child. That's why the Mobile County Public School System is urging you to stop and obey all bus traffic laws. Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Director of Transportation for the Mobile County Public School System. We're asking you to obey all bus safety laws. It could save a life. Remember, stop ahead when you see red. Our future depends on it.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
All in together now, we can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We roll it out, cause we know how to stay. We'll cut it down, we know what to eat. We'll swap it out, we eat healthy stuff. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Yeah, well come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll ball it up, cause we know how to hoop. We'll mess around, cause we know how to play. We'll drop it down, cause we know how to dance. We'll veg it up, veggie night and day. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. All in together now, we can make it better now.
Search We Can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy.
For me, it started back in 1942 when my family moved to Mobile, and I began my high school career at Murphy High School. Today, it's so important to be able to ingrain in yourself what are you going to do in future life, and you need to be prepared. And so subsequently, everything at Murphy was very important in my life. And so it was instrumental in preparing me for future life and future profession that I wanted to be in.
Welcome back. We're talking United Way with Tina Blackman. I'm Nancy Pierce from the Mobile County Public School System, and we've talked about so much with United Way. And the one thing I really want to hit on is the student campaign, because we're very proud of our students and their giving philosophy.
Yes, each year we ask for the students to reach in their pockets and give their change. And it's been a wonderful activity because all the student money that's raised through the school system is kept separate from our general funds. But the reason we do that is it allows students in the Mobile County Public School System to come out and understand the whole process of giving.
Yes.
And it's been a great adventure. A lot of the students have been through it, are still talking about it. And what they do is basically any dollars that are raised for the student campaign, we have a select group of students that we work with Martha Peak to get, and they come in and ask for requests for proposals from different nonprofits in our community. All of the proposals have to be based on affecting children in our community. And then they look at those proposals and they say, okay, this looks like a great program, this looks like a great program. They go out to the agencies, view the program, meet the children that are involved in it, get hands-on experience what's going on in their community, and then they get to come back and do one of the most difficult decisions that our volunteers do every year.
Oh, yes.
When you have, like we did last year, a 3-to-1 request, we had $3 requested for every $1 we had. So they get that experience. They come back with all of their opinions and their, insight now as to the programs, and they sit around the table and they make those decisions to say, okay, we have X number of dollars, we have this much requested, who do we fund? And they start to realize, one, the needs in the community, and two, how difficult of a decision it is when you've met these people and you know the needs there, but you have to make that
decision. And you have to do that every day.
Yes, we make that. Our volunteers do that every year, and it's a very difficult process because there are so many great programs. We'd love to fund everybody and everything. But the students do very well. They come in, they spend a week-long process of looking at these agencies, and then last time they deliberated on an entire Saturday.
Which it just says so much for our students that they are willing to give up their Saturday to do this, and I love that. I love
Junior
that.
and senior high school students giving up a Saturday was one of the biggest statements to us about how much they cared about the community. And they made that decision of who got those funds. And then we had a formal press conference and we released all that information, and then they got to meet the agencies, and they built a long-term relationship with a lot of them. They went back and got to see how their dollars affected the program.
How impressive. And they can pass that knowledge on to other kids,
they can.
Which is wonderful. What about in the actual schools with the kids?
For each school this year, we are encouraging teachers to please engage your key clubs, engage your honor societies, help make the students raise funds so that we can do this program again. And for each school, the classroom that raises the most funds.
Percentage-wise?
Percentage-wise, yes.
We have some big classes, some little ones.
Yes, percentage-wise, they will have a student celebration.
Oh, good.
That will be sponsored by United Way and some of our community leaders. And we will actually come into the schools with that teacher and the principal's permission, and we'll have just a little celebration, some tokens of appreciation, and some things to say thank you for what you did, because it couldn't be without you that we would make this. E.R. Dixon last year, their classroom was outstanding. They did a lend a hand program, and the teacher had all the students donate change in rubber gloves.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
it's
great.
so funny. When you walked in there, you had all these gloves full of, change.
Sure.
And their school raised about $785.
That's great.
So it was absolutely, and it's pocket change that they have. And it starts teaching
Right.
that everyone out there can give a little.
I love that. That's wonderful. Can they call you for ideas?
Call me for ideas, call me
Okay.
for anything that they, suggestions. We're always willing to help with getting the students engaged.
And you do that with all of our 90 schools?
Every school.
Wow. And competition, whew, everybody likes to compete.
Oh, yes.
Everybody does.
And that's what we've had some that have done the junior class versus the senior class and the
Right.
freshman class versus the sophomore class. And then that competition builds up and nobody wants to lose.
Right.
Everybody wants to be on top. So
and
it's
they're
been
still
great.
winners no matter
Yes.
what, even if they don't. Now, what about for adults? Don't you have a special card that you can
We have a couple of
purchase
things
or-
this year that we're offering to the Mobile County Public School
Okay.
System employees. The first one is we have been able to get some sponsors, kind of like we did last year. So if you turn in your pledge card by December 6th to your, turn it in, have it come back to us, you'll be entered into a drawing. This year we're fortunate enough to have electronic tablet. We have a 6-month gym membership and an athletic bag. We have a gas grill, a $50 Outback gift certificate, and a $25 Target gift certificate. That will be, you'll be entered into that, and it'll
Okay.
be random drawing, and then we'll make sure that you have those prizes before Christmas. So
Nice.
a nice
Very
way to
nice.
add a little Christmas
Yes, it
incentive
is.
to you.
And that is for our employees, the Mobile
For
County
all
Public
the
School.
Mobile County
Okay.
Public School employees who get their cards in by December 6th. So, you'll be getting your bags through the inter-office mail.
Right.
They'll be there by November 1st. So when you get those, when you start to think about running your campaign and running your rally, that's a little bit of encouragement to get it
Sure.
wrapped up.
It sure is. It's a good incentive. So we're going to wrap up in a couple minutes. So let's start again. You're hoping to, not start again, but you're hoping to wrap this up December 1st.
Yes.
Your goal is $4.8
$8 million
for your campaign. You have how many agencies? How many partners?
49 community partners.
Okay.
That's what we have this year.
And they do.
They range in health, education, financial stability, and essentials. It ranges from the Boys and Girls Club to Dumas Wesley Center to VIA Senior Citizen Services. Get that one out in a minute. We have Ozanam Charitable Pharmacy. Ronald McDonald House this year is a new partner with us. We have Mobile Area Education Foundation and many others. There's a great group of partners out
Right.
there that make our community a better place for all.
And once again, you couldn't do it without them either.
Correct. We could not.
And you said that really with United Way, it helps children, it helps adults, it helps the elderly. There's no group that is not affected.
Correct.
It could happen to you or I or anybody else at any time when you lose your job, if the economy goes down again, if gas prices go up to $3.90 or whatever they were. It could happen to anybody. And so think about that when you are deciding what you're going to give. I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say what you're going to give. And it makes our community just a much better place for everybody.
It does. And remember that, it's like we said, every dollar makes a difference.
That's right.
So,
Tina, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you for
always so
having
good
me.
to have you here. And thank you for watching and for listening.